Atlanta Police Department received a call around 10:42 p.m. to reports of a person having been shot at the Holmes Shopping Plaza, located at 2457 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, the southwest part of the city. When police and fire teams arrived on scene, the victim, whom at the time had not been identified, was not alert, conscious, or breathing. As police began their investigation, word had begun to circulate around the large, yet tight-knit black LGBTQ community that one of their own had been the latest victim of trans violence. It was through an Instagram post that was made shortly after the victim's death that their identity would be revealed. American singer-songwriter, reality television personality, and documentary filmmaker D. Smith went on her Instagram and made this post.
On Tuesday night, Rasheeda Williams was shot and killed in Atlanta. Rasheeda, also known as Koko Da Doll, was the latest victim of violence against Black transgender women. It's extremely difficult to process Koko's passing, but as a team, we are more encouraged now than ever to inspire the world with her story, to show how beautiful and full of life she was. She will inspire generations to come and will never be forgotten.
What D. Smith was referring to was the fact that prior to her passing, Koko, who had 15,000 followers on Instagram, was a model and rapper whose music has been featured on the Showtime series, The Chi, was also a budding actress, having been the star of the documentary, Kokomo City. In January of 2023, the film, executively produced by Lena Waithe, made its debut at the Sundance Music Festival. The movie explores the lives of Daniela Carter, Dominique Silver, Laya Mitchell, and Koko Da Doll, for Black trans women living in New York and Georgia. During the film, these women, who are also sex workers, discuss their experiences as Black trans women as they navigate the world of being Black and queer. The film has since gone on to be nominated for countless awards and has won several at the Sundance Music Festival as well as the Cinema Eye Honors. Less than 4 months later, those involved with the project would be mourning the loss of one of its stars. Koko was well known in the LGBTQ community in Atlanta. She was one of Atlanta's finest and most loving transgender women. Koko had a heart of gold and spread nothing but love and light to those she came across. According to her loved ones, to know Koko was to love her. She loved her family and friends to the core of her heart. If ambitious was a person, it was Koko. She has always put her best foot forward to reach all in which she desired. Koko's greatest goal was to take care of her entire family and close friends. When Koko entered the room, she always brought her beautiful bright smile. You couldn't help but to embrace her. She cherished her loved ones, and they cherished and embraced her, and now it was time for them to show up for her in death. The trans community had already been mourning the death of one unidentified Black trans woman who was killed back in January of 2023, while also grieving the passing of another beloved Black transgender woman named Ashley Burton, a case in which we covered here on Crime Woods.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest, police say all three don't appear to be random acts of violence. Koko's is one of 6 deadly shootings Atlanta police have been investigating since just Tuesday night. You can see the locations of each of these shootings right here on your screen, all in different parts of the city. Police believe the 2 latest death investigations are linked and no suspects are under arrest in any of these cases. We'll, of course, continue to update you with new information on these investigations as we get it and as...
Ashley was murdered in her apartment the week before Koko. People were left wondering if the deaths were related. Was there some sick person lurking in the shadows targeting the large Black trans community in Metro Atlanta? In 1971, the Georgia Gay Alliance marched down Peachtree Street to Piedmont Park, a moment marked as the first Pride March. This one stride down Peachtree started a bit of a movement for LGBTQ+ advocacy in Atlanta. On June 26, 1976, Atlanta Mayor Maynard Jackson dedicated that day as Gay Pride Day, although after much pushback, he changed it to Human Rights Day the following year. In 1979, the Black LGBTQ+ members of Atlanta created the Gay Atlanta Minority Association to discuss the issues of racism within the LGBTQ community. In 1996, a small gathering, hosted by black gay and lesbian friends on Labor Day weekend, would grow into the non-profit organization Atlanta Black Pride, which focuses on rights for black LGBTQ+ people in Atlanta. To this day, the organization hosts pride celebrations on Labor Day. Atlanta is known as the LGBTQ+ capital of the South, despite having homophobic protesters who still march and protest on occasion. So to think that someone is in the black gay mecca of the South, targeting the trans community, everyone was on edge. Maybe someone who simply did not like Koko, someone who was envious of her newfound success, decided to end her life. As we know, not every congratulation comes from a genuine place. Some people stay close to you during your climb up the ladder, only to stick around for what they hope will be your eventual downfall.
I'm trying to figure something out. What do you get out of when you see a trans girl out in public and you be like, and you're announcing that that's a trans girl or that's a man or whatever you want to call it? What the fuck do you get out of doing that? For one, it's not gonna stop shit. For two, all you're doing is making him curious. I'm really just curious to know.
Police would soon release footage that contained a person of interest.
First at noon and just into the newsroom, police releasing new pictures of a person of interest. They say this person could be connected to the murder of a transgender woman in Atlanta. Take a look. Atlanta police are asking for help in identifying and tracking down the person you see in these images. Last week, Koko, also known by her loved ones as Rasheeda Williams, was gunned down on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Southwest. She was the star of the documentary Kokomo City. Anyone with information about her murder is asked to call Atlanta police. Crime Stoppers is now offering a $2,000 reward in this case. We have that image for you on 11 Alive.
It just so happened that the very night Atlanta PD released this footage, the man featured in the video, along with his mother, had been watching.
Only on 11 Alive, a mother is now defending her teenage son tonight. The son is accused of gunning down a woman 2 weeks ago tonight. The mom is claiming her son did not pull the trigger. Koko Da Doll was found shot along Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. This was right near the Hamilton E. Mill MARTA station. 17-year-old Jamarcus Jernigan is charged with murder in her death. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live there where Atlanta police say this deadly shooting actually took place. So Cody, you have brand new information that the suspect's mom is refuting this investigation, right?
That's right, Ron. We now know tonight, according to a warrant, that Koko Da Doll was shot in the face. Now, Jernigan's mom says they have never heard of Koko until her son was accused of killing her. Now, what we can tell you is detectives say their break in this case came when they tracked down surveillance video that captured this deadly shooting. 17-year-old Jamarcus Jernigan's mom says they woke up on April 26th and saw her son's picture plastered on newscasts and social media.
He said, I'm gonna go down here and clear my name.
The pictures are still frames from surveillance video inside this Chevron on MLK Jr. Drive. The timestamp isn't shown, so we can't confirm the date and time, but there's no question it's Jernigan.
He was coming from the train station to go home because he was with his girlfriend. And he stopped by the gas station.
It's the white hoodie and emblem on the front of it, along with a pair of slides we can't see in the pictures released. His murder warrant states ties him to a homicide about 500 feet from the gas station.
My son don't have a gun at all.
Jernigan is accused of shooting Koko Da Doll on April 18th. His murder warrant states at 9:50 p.m., Koko is seen on surveillance video near the pool area of the Peaks at MLK apartment complex. APD released this video showing the guy she met with just before she was killed. He told detectives he met Koko at the entrance of the complex, where she asked to use a charger. Police say video shows Koko leaving the complex by herself, and then multiple shots are heard in the video. Turns out the shooting was caught on video by security cameras outside the Wendy's next door. Detectives say the shooter's clothing in the video matches the hoodie Jernigan's wearing inside the nearby Chevron. But his mom says there's no way her son killed someone.
So you think if he actually did kill her, he would?
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Tell you he did?
Yes, he would. Because my son is not like that. I'm going to clear that up right now. Stop saying he turned himself in because he murdered somebody. No, he did not murder anybody. My son went down there to clear his name.
A motive was not mentioned in the warrant. However, a witness did tell the detectives that she saw Koko in a verbal altercation with a man near a MARTA bus stop near the complex, just before the gunshots rang out. The woman said Koko and the man continued to argue into the roadway until she heard the shots and then saw Koko lying in the road. The warrant stated the witness ran to find someone to call 911. It was also mentioned in the warrant that 2 males were seen running just seconds after the shooting, but no other details have been released as far as if there is a second person being sought in Koko's death. Dr. Tatiana Moten released a statement that summed up what so many in the community had been feeling at the time. She said,
"As a Black transgender woman, the deaths of my sisters weigh heavily on my heart. Each loss is a reminder that our lives are undervalued and that the world is not yet safe for us. We deserve to exist without fear of violence, discrimination, or hate. Until we can live freely and authentically, until our lives are cherished and protected, we will continue to fight for our survival."
While this is still an active investigation, as police are still trying to figure out a connection between the 35-year-old victim and the 17-year-old perpetrator. At this time, they do not believe that Koko's gender identity played a role in her murder.
She had a lot of goals and hopes, and she was just a very positive, sweet person that was stuck in the struggles of being a Black trans woman in America.
Dominique Silver knows the struggle all too well. The two met thanks to their roles in the award-winning documentary Kokomo City.
Kokomo City is about the struggles of the Black transgender community and dealing with the struggles of sex work and the dichotomy within the Black community, pretty much.
Because I want people to understand just being something that you was born to be. Like, how can people look down on you and say things?
And it just really hurts me deeply to the core that she didn't get a chance to see the movie, live it, play its course, and succeed in what she wanted to succeed in.
Silver says even in death, Williams' fight to protect her community shines, even in the darkest hours.
We have to work together as people, as humanity, to really stop these issues and protect Black trans women at all costs. We really need to do better. It's hurting us to our soul, and we are human beings at the end of the day.
Rest in peace. Rasheeda Williams, affectionately known as Koko the Doll.